purpose. Now, mind you, I believe that God gives everyone a purpose in equal amounts. But it seemed like my little daddy didn't understand that he had a purpose. And let me explain that. Because if everyone has a purpose, how is it that some people seem to live it and you can tell they're living it, and some people don't and you can tell they don't? My dad was very religious, but he didn't seem to have convictions. So it seemed like what happened on Sundays when we went to church wasn't the same thing that happened during the week. Now let me give you some examples of why I don't think that he understood the power of his purpose. First of all, he had incredible amounts of talent and creativity, just like we all do, but we have to mature that. We have to grow that. We have to put effort into learning how to live with that. So, first of all, my dad didn't work. He never really had a job, and I believe it's the calling of all men, especially family men, to provide for their family. So if they don't, the chances are they're not going to feel very good about themselves, which my dad never did seem to feel great about who he was or what he was doing. The second thing is he was married 9 times. Go figure. I mean, that is in and of itself evidence of lack of purpose. He never seemed to settle in. He never seemed to settle down. He was married numerous times. He liked women, but apparently the marriages were not based on anything foundationally solid because he was married numerous times. He spent most of his time during the day watching soap operas. I mean, if you spend all your day watching TV, or you spend the majority of your time staring at your phone or stuff like that, if you're just wasting great, precious hours that you're never going to get back, that's evidence that you're not living your purpose, because that is an active call on our life to go out and do great things with the time and talents that we've been given. My dad drank a lot. He smoked a lot. He took pills. Not that there's anything wrong with being medicated, but if you don't address the reasons that perhaps you're in a deep depression, which he didn't, you're going to need to be heavily medicated. So because he was depressed and wasn't happy with who he was, he had to turn his feelings down because he didn't feel good about who he was and where he was going. Now, he died years ago, and I try very hard not to dishonor my dad, but at the same time, it's my job to learn from the legacy from which I came. So, what do I do with that? I look at my dad's life, and I accept what I want to receive from him. He was super creative. He had lots of compassion for other people. He had charisma. He could walk into a room. He could charm anyone. Those are great attributes from my dad that I choose to accept. But I also choose to work. I choose to work my talents, my gifts. I choose to use my time wisely. And I've been married 30, almost 1 years. So I have committed to a life based on principles of purpose. So the reason I'm so passionate about purpose is because I came from what seemed like a lack of purpose in a key relationship in my life, which was my dad. He died a lonely life. He was all alone. He was unhealthy. He was unhappy. And it was a real sad decline to watch my life. So welcome to week 3 of No Hamsters in Heaven. Sometimes what you want to learn from people is what you don't ever want to become. I want to become the parts of my dad that I choose to become. I want to let go of the parts that I choose not to become. We have the right and the authority and the responsibility to look back over our lessons in life and pick and choose what we want to carry forward. So purposelessness is a thing. I believe it's a lot of the mental health issues of today. Because if you don't feel like your life matters and you don't feel like your life was created for a huge, significant purpose, then chances are you're not going to feel like your life really matters. So, purposelessness is a thing. Purposefulness is a much better thing. So, thank you for watching. Welcome to week 3. See you back next week for week 4.